Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Express Lane, the show that brings you speedruns in 60 minutes or less. I'm your host, Oscar424, with occasional guest appearances from my quirky co-host, Galahad and Freya is out like a light right now. I don't know where Galahad is. He's probably just loafing around somewhere. Anywho, I just want to give you a quick heads up that tonight's show is streamed by the super awesome Superman on HBO Max. It's a new generation of superheroes are here, and in this blockbuster, Superman faces off against tech billionaire Lex Luthor and tries to find the balance between his Kryptonian heritage and life as journalist Clark Kent. Critics call it wonderfully entertaining and an awe-inspiring spectacle. Stream James Gunn's smash hit Superman on HBO Max right now, and it is super awesome. You absolutely want to check it out. And in case you haven't noticed by the little thing in the corner, thanks to HBO Max, did you know that right now your tier 1 subs and gifted subs are half off on the Games Done Quick channel right here. So now is the perfect time if you want to feel free to subscribe if you are just enjoying the show, enjoying Hotfix in general, and just support your daily speedruns for just $3. It is quite a deal, and thank you so much, HBO Max, for that sponsorship. Now, when you think of Express Lane, 60 minutes or less speedruns, you normally think of Pokemon speedruns, right? No? Well, guess what? I got you covered. I found 3 amazing speedruns that are all Pokemon and all under an hour. We're going to be ending up today with Pokemon Trading Card Game. For that, we are doing some Pokemon Scarlet, and right now, we are actually going to be doing Pokemon, well, it says Ruby, but it's actually going to be Pokemon Sapphire, any percent, by the Waffle Man. So hello, friend, how are you?
What's up? I am very excited to be here today presenting probably my new favorite route in Pokemon right now. And I am joined by two of our best any percent runners in Blue Magma and Mockwing. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Blue Magma, very avid speedrunner and glitch hunter in the Gen 3 Pokemon scene, and I'm excited to be here.
And hey everyone, I'm Mockwing. I'm just a very avid Gen 3 speedrunner and definitely a big fan of Pokemon Ruby Sapphire for sure.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for accompanying me today for this run, just because it's very action packed. It's 40 minutes, but it doesn't stop.
It's a lot.
For one moment. Okay, so you're probably wondering how Pokemon can be done so fast. Well, it's because of arbitrary code execution. But before we can do that, I need to do an RNG manipulation before I even start my game. So what I'm doing right now is soft resetting my game so that I can do something called Trainer ID Manip. So when you finish the credits in this game, you get your trainer ID. And when you soft reset the game, you can kind of put the variables of which trainer IDs are which down to 0, and then the timer is going to keep counting down from that number until we get the trainer ID we want. Now, there's very complicated reasons for why we need a certain trainer ID, but I'll have Blue Magma explain that one in just a second. But for now, we have to wait 90 seconds after a soft reset to get the trainer ID we want. And since most of that waiting is before a new game starts, we actually don't have the timer started yet, which is great. I'm going to start it about 40 seconds, when 40 seconds left on my timer, in about 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Pokemon Ruby Sapphire any percent, where we're going to be using arbitrary code execution. And right now I'm doing an RNG manipulation while going through the credits of the game. Now, something very funny is going to happen when I nickname our person that we are playing as. So I'm going to pick May. May is quicker because Brendan has less text as the rival, which is why we pick May. And something that we normally don't do is name ourselves 7A characters. And we'll explain it later.
Oh, my favorite name.
I love that.
Yeah, we go entirely against the classic speedrunning way of picking a one character. Yeah, A. We take that times 7 for this run.
All right, so if I just did trainer ID manip correctly, my trainer ID on the top right of your screen should say 09281, I think it is. 09 is what I look for. Oh, baby, we got it first try.
Oh,
Nice! Yes!
Oh my God! If you were rooting for Ruby to be on the run today, you do not get Ruby today.
There was somebody that posted Ruby lovers in shambles already.
Oh my God! Which, you know what? It sucks because I like running Ruby. First of all, because I have a fast saving cartridge, which saves me like 8 seconds over the run. It's great. And then also because Ruby has like not been optimal in this game since its birth. Because of Kyogre, it hasn't been useful, and so like Ruby has never been the optimal choice for a speedrun. But this is the first route where Ruby is actually optimal, but we don't get to showcase it today because I decided to try my trainer ID with the Sapphire.
See, this is something that's always fascinated me with Pokemon games. When you have, like in this case, Ruby and Sapphire, do the Pokemon unique to each cartridge make that big of a difference? Or there are other things?
I think in the earlier gens, definitely yes, because with the way that physical and special are split, it definitely makes a big difference, especially because Groudon, like, half of his moves are like one of the cool moves he learns is Fire Punch, but like he doesn't get to use it very well because he's not a special attacker in this game. But like in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it's much closer just because Groudon isn't that much of a liability in terms of the end game. But yeah, action-packed, like I said. So we already did our first RNG manip of the speedrun, and we're going into number 2. We're getting our starter. Now, everyone in the chat might be thinking we're going for a certain best boy, and I also would love to go for Mudkip as well. But we're going to be RNG manipulating Trico today. But yeah, Blue Magma. While I'm doing this, can you explain why we needed a certain trainer ID?
Ooh, yeah. I'm trying to think of where to start. The technical details are kind of complex. The general way that we're going to achieve arbitrary code execution in this run is thanks to the mail glitch and mail in our mailbox, which is normally not very useful as a game mechanic, but it's actually very glitchy in Gen 3. And most of the time,
I think it's first try Manips Day.
Wow, insane frame perfect.
I think it's first try Manips Day.
That's crazy.
I was expecting that to take like third try. So that's why I gave you that time to talk about it, but we're going straight into it. So basically, we need variables to line up for trainer ID manip, and that one just gives us the variables that we need so that we can do the warp to the credits at the end of the game. But yeah, I'm still doing starter manip, by the way, because I have to get in counterless up until Rival 1. The way we do that is I use a, what's it called? Like oh no, I messed it up. No, we got it. Left up. So Mockwing, who's here, up, left,
yes.
Up, left, up. I don't think that's anything. Left up is that early one that I always hit. Oh well. So yeah.
All good.
We don't get in counterless today, but that's okay because we got first try on both of our other manips, and that's okay. But
yeah. By the way, for added. I was going to say, for added context, both of those manips that Waffleman got first try were both single frame perfect manips. So it was like, those are difficult to get first try.
Chat. It's like,
you spent a lot of time resetting to get first try for both of those.
Yeah, which I normally do. Like, if you watch my stream, if you tune in, I'm stuck here in this section for like 40 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
No, I don't want to go to jail. That would suck. And yes, I am going to save for the Rival 1 fight. We can die
I
here.
agree
We're
with
going to
chat.
save it for everything.
All right, good, sir. You stop showing off, all right? It should be illegal to be that crazy good.
And yeah, Rival 1, we're going to do something very important in this fight, which is we're going to use 1 Leer. So over the course of the run, we're going to need to use a certain amount of certain moves in order to get the arbitrary code execution to work. One of those is having a slot in your like move list that has 29 left. So by using 1 Leer here, I'm going to have 29 left in the Leer slot, and then I won't have to worry about it for the rest of the run. Now I just have to worry about not getting crit by this Torchic, but we should be fine. Oh, yeah.
I should note there is a poll going on in chat, so chat, check it out. What's your favorite star? You have Mudkip, you have Torchic, you have...
Parents talk to you, they refer to you by your first name, and it's like, it's like, who names their kid that?
They
It's
just
an eternal
scream
victory
eternally.
screech.
Yep.
I can just picture my parents screaming at me like that. I'm like, yes, that's my name. What of it?
But yeah, the cool part about this route in particular, as we get into this like little tame section before we get into the Calvin fight, is it's a very execution heavy speed run. I mean, I do 4 RNG manips in this run, and Blue Magma's working on a 5th right now. So there's a lot of RNG manips in just the 40-minute, time slot that we've got here. So it's action packed, and I think it turns the how the classic Pokemon speedruns are all luck kind of on its head. It kind of turns that on its head, which I think is really cool. And it's also 40 minutes, and I don't have time to sit down for like a 2-hour speedrun.
Real, though. Real.
Okay, so yeah, we're going. Our next fight is going to be the Calvin fight. He is one of every single Pokemon speedrunner I've met probably who has played this game probably hates Calvin, and it is funny because Pokemon speedruns are like the only runs where like the first trainer is like the most difficult. Like if you play like a challenge run or a Nuzlocke, like the first trainer is not hard, but like in a speedrun where you're not, intentionally fighting wild trainers for more experience and stuff, it is definitely difficult. And we're going in on 6 HP, which is a little bit spooky.
Yeah. But 6 HP also has its benefits because all the starter Pokemon have certain abilities. In Trico's case, it's Overgrow, which boosts its grass-type moves by 50% if it's at 1/3 of its max HP or less. So Absorb is actually going to be doing 50% more damage.
Wait, I didn't even think about that until you said something. I would have gone for Pound on turn 1.
Yeah, it's kind of nice here because you'll heal a little bit of extra HP as well, and so it makes it a little safer for the rest of the fight.
Oh, God.
Oh!
That's what we save here.
Immediate turn 1 crit into death.
Yep.
You're probably wondering how we got here.
The game is mad at me for hitting both of those frame perfects, I swear to God.
Yeah. There's still luck in this run, don't worry. There's still RNG that can kill you.
Yeah, but with Overgrow, if Zigzagoon hits you back into Overgrow every time, you can hit a range to 3-hit KO, which is honestly pretty cool. So let's see if we can get it here. We have the opportunity. Let's go.
Hey, nice.
So that's doubly good because, like I was saying with the moves, we need a certain amount of certain moves. Absorb is one of those moves. We need exactly 17, and since it has 20 power points, after 3 absorbs, we have hit the check mark for the amount of absorbs we've needed over the run.
Yeah, and luckily we don't really need to use Absorb for any more fights. It can be nice to have them for the upcoming Aqua Pooch fight, but it's not really necessary. Absorb also has the extra text box of healing and stuff, so it's kind of slow to go for it if you don't need to.
And we got 3 encounters on this route, which is pretty bad.
It's trying to make up time for all the time you saved hitting those frame perfect tricks.
Yeah. No, we don't like time save in this house.
On.
All right, so doing some shopping, getting three potions, 5 repels, and very, very normally, we're gonna get 14, oh my God, hit the wrong button, 14 orange mail. Just don't worry about it, okay? It'll come into play later, but just know that maybe I like really sending like postcards to my friends.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty normal shopping section for a speedrun until you get to the end and then you're like, oh, this is strange.
Yeah. All right, so we got a little bit of time here. We got to go through the Wally cutscene. We talked to Norman from the side because it's actually faster because Wally doesn't have to walk around you to talk to Norman. He could just talk to Norman from the front, so we save a little bit of time there. But otherwise, we're going to watch and see if this Ralts actually lives to see another day. If you guys don't know, there's a 1 in 200,000 chance-ish that this Ralts can die in this cutscene because both the Ralts and the Zigzagoon are random. And Blue Magma, tell them about the concoction that you're currently working on.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is possible, as Waffleman said, for the Ralts to die in the tutorial where Wally is supposed to catch him. It is incredibly unlikely, but with the power of RNG manipulation and actually the new tech, which was kind of introduced by Goddess Maria, is you can actually use medium tech speed instead of fast tech speed, and that allows you to control the damage rolls that the Zigzagoon gets. And so if you get 2 maximum rolls from a very strong Zigzagoon on a very weak Ralts, it can actually KO the Ralts and save like close to 30 seconds. Very hard, but it has been done on console. And so we're in the process of making that more RTA viable, getting that to be actually used in run.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no longer just a dream.
Yeah, I know, right? I
No
feel
longer
like
just
been a meme.
chat trolling.
I feel like for years it's been like I want to see it in a run, like in a speed run. Like I know we've seen like a few like shiny Pokemon in that cutscene, but it would be so cool if like that was an implemented strat. It's like, oh yeah, we just RNG manipulate it now. I mean, like you guys, both of you specifically, Mockwing and Blue Magma, you guys need to chill on the RNG manips. They're getting too hard. If you guys don't know, Mockwing created an RNG manip to like extend Wingle manip into like a perfect Aqua Pooch fight, which I made a YouTube video about, by the way. Which if you want to learn about like one of the hardest RNG manips ever, just watch my YouTube video on it. It's ridiculous. I also saved there because in a practice run I hit that bug catcher and a new fear unlocked, and that actually kills your run because you get too much experience and it breaks an RNG manipulator in the run. So that's why I saved there. Also,
It's definitely the best spot.
this is the worst fight in the game. Can you guys talk about how much you guys hate the Aqua Pooch, which I thought I was gonna call the Magma Pooch today, but I was just too good.
Exactly. I mean, there's a reason why there was reason to make a manip for this fight. This Pooch, it's over leveled compared to where we're at when we finally take the fight. It knows 3 moves, which are Tackle, Owl, which raises its attack, and then Sand Attack, which lowers accuracy. And I think across all starters you pick, no matter what, it's at least 5 turns to knock it out with your natural rolls. So you can deal with a lot of different problems.
As a sigh of relief.
Let's
we had
go.
two
Nice.
sand attacks there. We missed quite a few turns when we
Yeah.
made it out. Yeah, I think it's funny because Trico's a little bit better because he has a more accurate, like Pound is more accurate than Tackle, so it's a little bit better in that department. But because Trico is much more frail than Mudkip, if that guy gets like 2 howls up, you're like so close to dying on every hit. It's ridiculous. So it's a very volatile fight, but we're lucky to make it past first try. And now into probably the most interesting part of the run. We're about to RNG manipulate Bullet Seed to beat Roxanne really, really fast.
Yeah, this whole thing that we're about to do is basically the entire reason we use Trico instead of anything else. RNG manipulation in battles has traditionally been very difficult for Gen 3 speedruns. It's been used in some cases. Mockwing was just talking about the RNG manip that he made for Aqua Pooch. But it's still very difficult, as we've said. But there's actually a quirk with multi-hit moves and RNG, where RNG is moving at twice its normal speed in battle, and so each of your RNG values will always either be even or odd because it's moving 2 times per frame. But with multi-hit moves, you can actually, because it can roll a different number of hits, you can actually guarantee that you'll be on either even frames or odd frames, and that's really, really good for consistency.
And I'm gonna need silence for this one.
Yeah, we'll let Waffle focus because it's kind of hard.
And if you hear me doing the putting sound, that's because that's what my flow timer is doing. And that's helping me time the inputs.
Or so good. Okay, and now we hold.
We hold.
Come on.
2,
One
3.
more. Oh, let's go.
Nice.
Oh my god. I practiced that all day, by the way.
That was
Wow.
All right, so
Yeah.
for those of you who weren't, if you weren't watching, basically we needed to, every turn was very important there. We needed to hit a 3-shot on the Geodude. If we get 2 shots, the Geodude lives, it breaks the Manip. We needed to make sure that we got the right move from Nose Pass. That might have been one you missed, because Harden is very important to get there. So that Rock Tomb doesn't just kill us. And then we also needed to get the perfect amount of bullet seeds every time. The 3-shot into a 4-shot or a 5-shot or in a 4-shot in a crit is basically what you're going for there. And we ended up getting the perfect fight, which is not something I'm used to getting first try very often.
For first trying 3 out of 3 Manips.
Oh my god.
You're too good.
It's always,
Too
Pretty
good.
nice.
It's going to be Abra, the easiest one that I'm going to miss. And I'm going to be okay with it. I just have to accept that it's coming.
But as Waffle was saying beforehand, the number of hits is very specific and very important because Roxanne actually has a pretty low threshold for what she'll consider to be like low enough HP where she'll want to use a potion to heal up Nose Pass. So sometimes 4 hits from Bullet Seed on the first hit of Nose Pass can be too much damage and she'll potion it right away, which is exactly why we needed 3 on the first hit and why you need exactly 5 hits of Bullet Seed after that, or 4 with one of them being a crit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very, very precisely planned. Harden as well, like Waffle mentioned, so that you don't get, if you don't get Harden, it'll basically always go for Rock Tomb, which will do a lot of damage, but more importantly, it lowers your speed, so then it will outspeed you on the next turn, and it'll be able to 2-shot you. So
nice.
almost every input in that fight is planned to get the perfect outcome.
Yeah, and I saved for this fight as well, even though the odds of us winning are very high. With any fight with Sand Attack, we got to save for a marathon, obviously. Which is funnily enough, the only fight we save for almost every fight, the only fight we don't save for is the last one. Because there's really not much that can go wrong to break it in terms of a speed run. But every fight so far up to this time, up to now, we've had to save for, because there is a not like a higher percentage chance, but if you die, it just completely breaks your run.
It was actually.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, go on.
go on.
I have a different question for you.
Okay, all right. And you might not have noticed during that fight, but I moved my my move slots around in that fight, just because that's gonna. When we were doing the ace later, like I was saying earlier, with the I'm needing a certain amount of moves. Those moves need to be in certain slots, which is why I moved my moves around.
So there was a quick question in chat, and I think it might have been also an answer in chat about language differences. Is it faster to run this game with a different language, like Japanese, or a different cart, or is it they're not really much of a difference?
That's a great question. So basically, language, how Pokemon speedruns tackle language is because languages can affect more than just the text in these games. They can affect the natures of Pokemon. They can affect the RNG manips. They are essentially completely different games. Because of that, they are two different leaderboards. So while yes, it is faster to play on the Japan version for most categories, I don't even know if like our arbitrary code execution like setup would work on a JPN cart. But for most categories, JPN will be faster because it is faster text, but since it's a completely different game, it has its own leaderboard.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And that is actually a good point. The exact setup that we're doing does not work on the Japanese version of the game. Yeah, so we're not doing that in this case. And then there's, like Waffle was saying, there's way more differences than you would expect. Like, they're very different games. Like, even the natures of the Pokemon for certain fights are different. And so, like, moves that would guaranteed kill on the English version will be only have a chance to kill on the Japanese version. And there are trainers that can see extra far. So normally you'd be able to just run right past them in English, but they'd catch you on the Japanese version. It's very interesting how many differences there are. And so that's kind of why the leaderboards are split like that.
Yeah, I think the biggest one is like in Granite Cave, or not Granite Cave, Rest Surf Tunnel, with the hiker being able to catch you, like completely changing the route between these two speedruns. But enough on that. We've got one more. We've got our final RNG manipulation to do. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I entered the Poké Center because the Pokemon that we're going to RNG manipulate is Abra, and we're going to use that warp point by entering in the Pokemon Center to teleport back to Restbora City later. But that is a later issue. Right now, we have to get that Abra into our party. So let's go and catch him. So this is quote unquote the easiest RNG manip of this run, but I feel like because of how hitting the hard stuff has been easy for me this run, I feel like I'm not gonna hit it. But let's see. Oh, we got the easy route. Let's go.
Nice.
All right.
My favorite Abra.
Gotta get it in the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Rude Abra.
close.
That's okay. It's okay. We need to be kinder to the Abra. Okay, if we distract the Abra by telling it it's going to be watching Superman on HBO Max, maybe it'll
There
get
you go.
Yeah, that's right. Bro, look over there. It's Superman.
Abra's got good taste.
Oh
No.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm worrying about my offsets. Dun dun dun. We're fine. We're fine.
Now,
We're fine.
now we're hoping for shiny Abra in chat too, just to add it.
Oh, that might not get it.
This is the nice part about Pokemon runs, though, is that for an RNG manip, especially for one that you get an encounter as quick as this, you can just easily reset and keep doing it until you get what you need to continue the run.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the catch is much harder than you think, just because it's two inputs that like influence each other. So it's like very, very difficult to know like exactly what went wrong when going for them. But we get it on our
There it is.
Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. I might add.
For how insanely good the rest of the RNG manips were, that is totally fine.
All right, we're getting to the end. We're getting to the end game. So we just need to.
I love how you're saying getting into the end game at like about 25 minutes in. What?
Oh, I have so much time.
Yeah.
So even though I had to repel up, I can still get encounters.
Oh, yeah.
Level 12 Sableye is thumbs down.
Unlucky.
Yeah, if this was Ruby, I wouldn't have gotten that encounter. Just saying.
True. Would have been all
I like haven't got all of my practice runs. Now did not get an encounter today, and guess where I practiced? All right.
Yeah, we've caught a total of 2 Pokemon. We have 1 gym badge, and we're wrapping it up. We're almost done.
We're wrapping it up. Yeah. So Blue, that leads to an important segue. How are we gonna beat the game? What do we gotta do? There's one important thing that's coming up that we gotta do. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I mentioned the mail glitch at the start of the run. This had some pretty cool uses, but nothing super game breaking. You could duplicate items like rare candies, and you could corrupt some tiles that could let you like walk on water in a few places. But that was about it. And then what we actually did was I set up a bounty for someone to find any way to skip a trainer in this game, any trainer. And a very skilled glitch hunter, Metric, actually not only skipped 1 trainer, but skipped like 90% of the trainers in this game and figured out that you can actually use that same mail glitch to perform arbitrary code execution. That's what we're doing now, and it's very easy to set up mail glitch. All you need is 2 Pokemon and a double battle. One of them needs to be holding a mail, and then the other one needs to have Thief or Covet. Thief is just much faster for us to get, because we can get it in this very next place, the museum.
Yeah, Blue.
Then in the double battle, you're just gonna use Thief on the mail, and you've already done the mail glitch.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Blue was actually telling me before this run about the 0 badge route, which has you level up as Zigzagoon to level 30 to get the move Covet, which honestly sounds awful. This is such a better alternative, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have to get the mail off the Trico, but in order to set up arbitrary code execution, we have to do a little bit more than that. So you'll see me just we're going to attach 10 mails to Trico and then just put them in the mailbox. This one's going to Abra. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to make sure the final one is on Trico, because that is the important one.
Yep, and this is because when we do the mail glitch, we're actually going to have a glitched mail equipped onto our Abra, and that mail needs to be in the last slot of the mailbox when we send it back to our mailbox. And the mailbox can hold 10 pieces of mail, so we got to put 9 in there first, and then the 10th one will be glitched. And so normally, the way that this game like prints out text, like any text on the screen, is each letter sort of has like a code associated with it. So like A might be 1, B is 2, C is 3, and so on. And then there's also sort of these special characters, like FF is the code to stop printing text, like the message is done. There are also some other special characters that is what we use now to get arbitrary code execution. So FD00 is a placeholder character that will actually call an unused part of memory that ends up printing out a very, very, very long series of characters. And that lets you do a ton of crazy stuff, like name corruption. But then we're inside of that crazy long set of characters, we're going to include another one, which is 44FC, which is another special character that is a control code, which we're going to be able to use to actually execute code that we want, and that code can warp us to the credits. Very, very complicated behind the scenes. That was honestly kind of a simple version of the explanation.
Yeah.
But you don't need to understand any of it to do this run or watch this run, for that matter.
True. I have learned about it because I'm a nerd about this stuff, so I want to learn about it. Great crit, very useful crit.
Oh, nice.
If I crit the C dot, we're so screwed.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'd have to. No.
Maybe a high roll crit.
Yeah. All right, we're good. And we've completed. So we've done the glitch mail thing, which is where we thief the mail from one Pokemon to the other. The devs of Pokemon Sapphire were probably not thinking about that when they were like, thief move, we're going to use it on wild Pokemon. They never thought, what if you use it on your own Pokemon? And that's why it probably just messes up everything. And now we're getting to the end of the game, guys. This is it. This is a crazy pace. The Elite Four looks a little bit different. All right, first we got to save, just for reasons. I don't even understand that one, but we have to save.
Basically have to clear out the memory so that things don't get stuck. And then Waffleman's gonna do some magic here.
Some magic, some sparkle emoji.
So naming these PC boxes is also like exactly the reason why this route can't perfectly translate to other different language versions of the game, because you would need a separate set of characters that would call the same things in memory, but they aren't going to perfectly match up to what you need in English.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Also, really quick, shout outs to Dune Wacky, because this any percent route took a lot of different paths to get to where it is today. And this current version was essentially found by accident in a way.
Oh, those are the best ones.
Exactly. Dune Wacky was interested in one of the versions of the any percent version of this game that we had. And they were running the game, and they got a crash that was unintended. And like they couldn't explain why they were getting it. And Metric, knowing that like, you know what? Crashes aren't actually that bad if you're trying to glitch the game. Reverse engineered the crash and realized, oh, wait a minute, this is actually a shortcut to where we want to go. And the route evolved from there to get to where it is now.
And I love the final text box is just GN. Like, good night, Pokemon.
Good night.
All right, I'm just going to make sure all my boxes are good before I do anything. And then we are going to get ready for time pretty soon.
I feel like these names are in like Twitch Plays Pokemon versions of this game.
True, like the names of the Pokemon. Yeah.
All right, so we're going into the mailbox. All we have to do is hover over that glitch mail. And then congrats, you have beaten the game of Pokemon Sapphire in a very short amount of time. What? Now, I always forget, so timing will
get the camera.
So timing will stop once we fade out at the end of this game. I always forget to press A at the end, but the timing will stop now. All right, and that was Pokemon Sapphire.
Nice.
What time did I have? I don't know what time I have. I don't have time.
It's about 33-ish.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, right at 33. Yeah, right around 33.
Oh my god! Wow,
that is.
That was
32:57.
Oh my god!
It might have been actual PB pace going into the Abermanip.
Honest to God, I don't have a sub 30 yet, and I was so nervous leaving Oxaminip. You have no idea. So, but yeah, that is currently the quickest way to beat this game. It's a pretty fun route, and I'm glad to have been able to showcase it to you. If you are interested in following me, I make YouTube videos called. Under the tag The Waffle Man. It's currently focused on Pokemon speedrunning, so if you guys like Pokemon speedrunning, I got a lot of cool videos coming out, so stick around for that. Other than that, let my other two cashmates sign off.
Yeah, thanks very much for having us on today. This, like in the past, I don't know, 6 months or something crazy? Yeah, less than 6 months, probably 4 months. Just so much work has gone into this route. This route used to be an hour and 48 minutes for the world record. We've shaved an hour and 15 minutes off of that in the past, 4 or 5 months with just all the community contributions. It's a really, really cool run. It's pretty easy to get into now, whereas the old routes were kind of hard to get into. So I'm glad that it's becoming more accessible. I'm glad that we got to show it to you all today.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun watch and fun to commentate. Thank you for having me, Waffle and GDQ. And, Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, this game is over 20 years old at this point. But like Blue Magma said, like developments just happen. Even with games as old as this, you never know when something new can come up and just completely break the game in ways that you could have never seen coming. And it's always interesting.
Agreed. And one last real quick question, rapid fire. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Ooh, tough question. Oh man, can the other people go first? I need to think about it because it changes. It changes a lot.
favorite Pokemon overall, I tend to go to Teddy Ursa.
Nice.
I've been a Screamtail fan recently.
Ooh,
that's my favorite.
That's a good choice.
Nice.
Okay, I have to go. Azumarill, and there's lore. I entered the Hartford Regionals about 2 years ago now, and Azumarill was like the star of my team, and also was like one of my first shiny Pokemon. So Azumarill just has like a lot of lore that I like about Azumarill, but like. So that's like kind of like my favorite Pokemon right now, but it changes a lot. You know, there's so many good ones.
Love it. Love it. Well, again, thank you all so much for that absolutely awesome run of Pokemon Sapphire. Give GG's in chat one more time for the Wolfman and crew. But sit tight because we have 2 more awesome Pokemon runs coming up next. And after that hydration break, we are switching gears to Pokemon Scarlet. So stay tuned. Hello again, friends, and welcome back to this Pokemon episode of Express Lane. Before we go into our next super cool run, first off, GG's on the previous run. That was like, my brain still can't process that. But I just want to give everyone a quick heads up and reminder that this stream today is wonderfully sponsored by Superman on HBO Max. And for those who don't know, a new generation of superhero is here. And in this blockbuster, Superman faces off against tech billionaire Lex Luthor to find the balance between his Kryptonian heritage and life as journalist Clark Kent. Critics call it wonderfully entertaining and an awe-inspiring spectacle. So you should be streaming James Gunn's smash hit Superman on HBO Max now. And as a big thank you to everyone watching and tuning into this episode of Express Lane. HBO Max is going to be, well, helping out with gifted subs. So tier 1 subs and gifted subs, they are going to be half off for you on the Games Done Quick channel. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're just enjoying the show, you can support daily speedruns for only $3. That is such a deal. And thank you so much, HBO Max, for sponsoring that. But moving on, we are shifting gears and shifting up a few years for sure. We are heading on over to Pokemon Scarlet, Path of Legends by Dynam. So hello, friend. How are you?
Hello, Asuka. Thank you for that wonderful intro. I'm doing quite well today. Excited to be bringing Pokemon Scarlet, Path of Legends to Express Lane today. Along with me on commentary, I'll let Spider C introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Spider C. I'm one of the original routers of this particular category. Looking forward to seeing it shown off.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the run and we can explain a couple things. So I'll go ahead and give us a countdown from 3. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So right away, we're just going to do a shop. In Pokemon standard fashion, X items are good. And since we are starting right next to a shop where we can buy them, we're just going to get that out of the way now. The reason why we started here specifically is because this is one of the single story categories for Scarlet and Violet. So, Dynam, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so Path of Legends is one of the 3 base single story categories of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The other 2 being Starfall Street, focusing on Penny's storyline, and then also Victory Road, focusing alongside the character Nimona. Path of Legends is going to focus on Best Boy Arvin and his pet dog Mabostic. So we're going to be seeing a lot of puppy action over here. But first, we gotta climb this cliff. We kind of took this backwards ledge jump, or BLJs for short, kind of from the SM64 community. Basically, in order to get up large walls and cliffs, we can kind of face backwards, jump up them, and kind of access areas that we probably shouldn't be able to at this point. Yeah, we're gonna go around and grab this little can. Let's Swablu. Do a quick menu.
Hopefully that stays put.
Yeah, hopefully.
So we picked up some EXP candies, which are a staple in Scarlet and Violet speedrunning. They're all over the place. You can get some early levels, which is why we have evolved our starter already.
Yes, everyone say hi to Sprigatito, wonderful grass cat, grass starter enjoyers in chat. Show yourselves now.
And so then we're going to do one other thing real quick, which is a HP setup for Overgrow. So with all of the free heals that you get in these games, it's actually not too common that you get to take care of or take advantage of Overgrow, which is an ability that if you are below 33% HP, your grass moves are increased by 50%, which is obviously a big boost. But here what we did is we did a Let's Go on the Hulucha to get down to half HP, evolved, which then brought our HP back up to around 75%, and then did another Let's Go that we lost, bringing us back down to 25%. So we're able to take advantage of that nice damage increase with actually a very quick setup.
Yeah, this is really important because we're only level 26 right now, and we're going to be coming up across the first Titan of 5 that we're going to be facing in the run. You can see a little miniature version over there right now of what we're about to experience. But our first Titan that we're going to beat is Cloth. It's a giant rock crab. But first we're going to get a couple more items, try to get a nice slide down here. Perfect. And that Overgrow. Oh, hello, Skidoo. Can you please skedaddle on out of here? Yeah. Give them their 5 seconds of fame and such. Yeah, each of these Titan Pokemon are kind of beefed up versions of the regular Pokemon that you'll see in the overworld. They each have slightly higher levels, larger HP pool. So that Overgrow ability that Spider mentioned a little bit earlier is going to help us set up a nice quick KO on both phases of this giant rock crab. As he scuttles on over here. It's very funny. The last time I was on a hotfix, I was doing another single story Victory Road, and this Cloth just like scuttled in a way that I have never seen before. It was just like angled at a really weird angle for some reason, and just
it just like slid onto the screen. It was very odd.
All roads lead to weird crab of sorts, or so I hear. I think. So that's
the other thing that's helping us out here is we picked up the Grass Knot TM, and Grass Knot is a move that does more damage the heavier your opponent is, and we fight a number of heavy opponents.
In fact,
and so we actually get all.
The Titan Cloth is actually considered a higher weight class than a normal Cloth, if I remember correctly.
I don't believe that's correct.
Yeah. I've
done the damage calcs enough that I'm pretty sure that's not right.
All right, thank you for correcting me. I'd like to think so. It's larger, you know. It's got.
You would think
clearly
so.
Has more mass, right?
The other thing that this health setup that we did allows us to bypass is Shelter. Shelter.
Oh gosh, Shelter
used to be helpful. So in this fight, you're up against Cloth, and Arvin's helping you out with his Shelter. And you want to avoid getting the Cloth below half HP because of its ability Anger Shell, which has a very long animation once it gets below half HP. Shelter used to help you out with this.
Yeah, in fact, well, there's something about like the recent patch with the Indigo Disc that altered Double Battle's AI, and normally Shelter's supposed to like help you and like shoot its water gun and help you out with that. It likes to use Life Dew, which is like a doubles healing move of sorts, and it just is slow and can actually hinder you by proccing that Anger Shell, which raises Cloth's stats by like a tremendous amount. But also, because this is a Generation 9 Pokemon game, we actually cannot turn battle animations off. And so you get to see every one of those stat boosts and every one of those stat drops, and we don't want to see those. So that's why we have that HP set up to get ourselves into a good state to beat Cloth. We'll actually be doing another setup with Overgrow a little on further down the line as well. But that's our first Titan defeated. We are helping Arvin out. Like I said, Arvin his puppy Mabostiv is a little bit under the weather. So we're gathering these what are called Herba Mystica to stuff into sandwiches. Think of them as like, you know how like you have microgreens that you like put in things? These are like macro greens of sorts. So we kind of stuff them into sandwiches and feed them to our Pokemon to make them feel better. That's actually how we're going to get our first sort of upgrade to Koraidon, the box legendary here. Koraidon ate a sandwich, and wow, look at that. Koraidon is now able to dash, and we like to dash because we like to go fast in speedruns. So it just works out that Cloth is the first Titan that we're able to take down, so we can get that dash ability and move around the rest of the map as fast as we can. All right,
Herba Mystica, so HMs, would you say?
Ooh, you know, I completely forgot about that until you had just mentioned it right now. All right, chat, I have a question for you. Sandwiches, sandwich toppings. How do you feel about olives on your sandwich? I need to know, chats. Preferably within the next 7 minutes or so. I need to know how you feel about olives as a whole. Get in the comments.
7 minutes? What movement are you doing?
It's give or take. I'm giving chat like a little bit of buffer room before the spectacle, all right? All right, but now that... Sorry, what was that? Oh my gosh, I remember this. Yeah, there's like actual like vehicles that are modeled after Koraidon and Miraidon. I have seen the images. They are certainly something. That is for sure. I personally do not like olives. Like
I enjoy an olive, but not necessarily on a sandwich.
So true, Asuka. So true. All right, as you can see, we are moving quite fast now that we have our dash ability. This is the part of the speedrun. There's sort of like, in every sort of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet speedrun, there's this sort of section where we go around and gather all of the candies and the resources that we need in order to complete the run. Path of Legends being a shorter category than the other two. Path of Legends runs at around, I think my current PB is around like 46 something. Starfall Street like a 120, Victory Road at about like a little less than 2 hours. We don't need as many resources to get through the game, so we're only gonna push our starter Sprigatito, now at Florigato, up to I think level 54 for the sake of marathon safety. So usually we'd go up this hill, head through Dolly's Alpha Passage, and like cross over into the snow-crested peaks of Glaciato Mountain. We're not gonna see too much snow other than what we're seeing. Hello, Pyroar. I am begging you to. I am getting ratioed by. Oh my gosh!
I've never seen this before.
What?
They're trying to show us who the bigger cat in town is, apparently. That is why we pick up Pokédolls, for this exact reason. Sometimes you can just kind of get ratioed by Pokemon spawns, and what is with all of... I need to... Excuse me.
This is the Switch 2 difference.
I have never had a problem with this up until today. I'm getting completely owned right now. Yeah,
so on the Switch 2, they massively increased the amount of spawns that can be present at one time. And generally that's not a problem for us because we just move as quickly as it's spawning Pokemon for us. But it does mean that when you do get caught and you get an encounter, that happens. And just more things spawn around you while you're in the fight. And the longer you're in an area, the worse it gets for you.
Yeah, we should be. If I got knocked off by the Slanded, I legitimately do not know what I would have done there. But I think we're past the worst of it now, thankfully. Yeah, I think they upped the spawn encounters from the Switch 1 to Switch 2 from like 16 to I want to say like either 32 or 36.
Something like that, yeah. That cave is another spot where it can get really bad on Switch 2.
Yeah. Really good for, casual play. Really terrible if you want to get places in a speedrun, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair.
We're taking a slight detour here to pick up what's called a mint. That one is particularly called a rash mint. Mints are really cool. They allow you to change, sort of like pseudo change the nature that affects your Pokemon. Natures are sort of like stat boosts and stat drops that your Pokemon have. Each one raises a particular stat by 10%, and each one drops a particular stat by 10%. That was a sketchy jump. We're not going to talk about that anymore. Anyway, so Rash is a nature that increases your special attack while also drops your special defense. One thing that we mentioned is that we started sort of at the school timing, so basically past the tutorial, which means you kind of take your starter Pokemon all the way through. And so whatever stats your Pokemon has at the time is what stats you're going to roll with. I'm going to remember to do the correct movement here. Relatively new movement to switch to save a little bit of time on some flies here.
Yeah, because loading screens are so much faster on Switch 2, fly menus are a lot more reasonable to do. So this movement right here is giving us an extra rare candy at the cost of a fly, but it actually works out well because of how fast the flies are nowadays.
Exactly.
We have gotten a resounding no on the "Do you like olives?" question.
All right.
With 65%.
This will be important later, chat. Do not worry. I would not ask you a question if I did not have a good reason to.
I think you just made chat hungry because now we're talking about favorite pizzas too.
Oh my gosh. All right, chat. I am a big fan of pineapple and bacon, mostly because like the standard Hawaiian pizza, like I need like a bit of crunch to go with like the sweetness and softness that is pineapple, and like Canadian bacon doesn't do it for me. I need like regular bacon.
That's why you get both. You have Canadian bacon and regular bacon.
But what if I just want one bacon? Anyway, we're headed towards the second Titan.
Sage words.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't think that this next Titan eats bacon, and I'm pretty sure that all this Titan eats is dirt.
That is correct.
Yeah, we are coming up on Orthworm. Big old Titan Orthworm. Big funny guy. Honestly, one of my favorite Pokemon of Gen 9. I don't know how they did it, but they just made really funny guy.
The expressions that it has during the cutscenes are so funny.
Yeah, I will have to do a quick menu here in order to take Orthworm on. We're going to grab all the XP candies that we use, and we're going to evolve our Florigato into a little fancier cat. Say hello to Meowscarada. Grass starter getting it.
I love these starter versions of this. Yes, the starter Pokemon here are fantastic.
Yeah, Meowscarada is probably my favorite starter Pokemon. I'm going to use that Carbos just in case that matters, because it actually might matter. And then we're going to teach Aura Sphere. That's the TM that we picked up when doing that huge fall past all those Pokemon that we got ratioed by. Really cool fighting move. Oddly enough, Meowscarada is like one of the few Pokemon in Generation 9 that can learn Aura Sphere. Always hits 90 base power, really strong, and gives Meowscarada pretty good type coverage, especially considering that Orthworm is, I forget if it's part steel type or full steel.
It's full steel.
Okay. Yeah, Aura Sphere helping us to get past phase 1 and gotta follow through this tunnel for phase 2. What kind of cat do we get today? Just standing cat.
Sometimes you'll get Zoomy Cat, which will run around you, and sometimes you'll get Sleeping Cat, where it sleeps.
I did get Sleeping Cat on my my last practice run. So I was hoping
Zumi Cat
for-
is by far the best one.
Zumi Cat is the best cat, hands down.
The other thing, speaking of moves, is when we evolved, we automatically learned another move called Flower Trick, which is the signature move of Meowscarada. And that is a fairly strong grass move that always crits, which is quite helpful.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing Starfall Street, in which case it's really bad.
Yeah, you can't actually crit the Starmobiles in Starfall Street, which is why I think somebody tried to route Meowscarada for it, but it just it's not great. For that category.
I think it was Iron. Tried to route Meowscarada for Starfall, got the Starbase fight, and then Flower Trick just didn't do anything.
No.
Okay.
One other thing about Flower Trick that may be relevant later on is that it can never miss either. So always crits, never misses. So if we got like Sand Attack, for example, it would still hit regardless of our accuracy or the opponent's evasion.
Nice.
But that's Titan number 2 down. I'm going to go ahead and walk in here, grab another Herba Mystica. I think they're labeled after like taste stuff. So it's like there's a sweet one, there's a salty one, there's a bitter one, there's a spicy one, and I am blanking on number 5. I want to say umami, but I know that's not a thing in this game.
It's the flavors from Gen 3, which we just saw Gen 3, so that's cool.
Wait, you're so right. Why did I never make this game?
How did you not know this?
I don't play enough Gen 3. I know we just saw a Gen 3 game, but like I don't do contests. I never made Pokeblocks. What do you take me for?
Oh yeah,
I'm a
it's the exact
Switch
same 5 flavors.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting put on blast by my commentator right now.
Isn't that what I'm here for?
Yeah.
That's pretty much a commentator's role in general.
Yeah.
I guess so.
This is the longest of our Arvin cutscenes.
Well, I will say then, a new poll is up because we started talking about food, and it's
Oh, I need to vote on this one.
pineapple on
need to vote on this
pizza,
poll.
yes or no? And honestly, for those of you watching on the Twitch front page, hello! Feel free to click on the stream right now and let us know your thoughts, because I've seen some very spicy opinions on various pizza toppings in chat so far. If you had pineapple, have you tried, hear me out on this one, marshmallow?
I'm sorry?
Huh.
Come again?
So, like, it doesn't add much flavor, but it adds, like, the sweetness without being too cloyingly, like, sweet. It's a strange thing, and a silly night at college where we decided to recreate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pizzas. But the marshmallow pizza actually was quite tasty. Like, marshmallow, pepperoni, and, like, something else.
Valid. Very valid.
Okay, sure.
College
I see the vision.
is a place to experience and experiment. Also, here's Mabostiff, Arvin's little puppy.
It's doing a little bit better now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the cutscene where you get introduced to Mabostiff, so that's why it's the longer of the 5 cutscenes that we'll be watching during this run.
And the
Speaking of
cutscenes are
cutscenes.
always in order of that you defeat the Titans in. So Orthworm is technically the recommended 3rd Titan, but we did it 2nd, and so we're getting the long cutscene for it.
Exactly. Mabostiff opened its eyes.
Yay!
HBO Max now.
No, Superman on HBO Max.
Superman, I'm sorry, sponsors. I had
actually-
Spider C mixed up with Superman, apparently.
You were so close.
To the GDQ channel. So keep that hype train going and get those subs in thanks to HBO Max.
Yeah, let's go keep that hype train going. right, so that is Titan 2 down. We are off to Titan number 3, and we might see a certain vegetable along the way. But first, we're going to take a little bit of a pit stop here. There's a different shop in Messagosa, the starting town, where we can buy a Miracle Seed. Miracle Seed is a held item that increases the power of our grass-type moves by 20%, and that is going to be very important for the later stages of the speed run.
Yeah, because if you're keeping track of our moveset currently, we have 3 grass moves and 1 fighting move. So having that extra 20% on our grass moves is quite helpful, actually.
Yeah, historically, grass not a great offensive type. As I am aware of VGC, that was like 3 near misses in a row. I need to be paying more attention to the road, apparently. All right, chat. For all of you olive haters, this is for you. Some of you may remember this from your playthroughs. This is Cortando, the town known for its olive harvest, and that was a little tap. I'm gonna give it a better tap than that. Bonk right into that. Get out of here. The olive roll is the gym challenge for the Cortando gym. We have to get that olive into the goal. Just giving a little love tap there. With Orthworm, the ability that we get, we're going to use right here. It's called High Jump. What do you know? It lets you jump super high, and it would help if I jumped at the right location.
In the correct spot.
There we go. Perfect. It just helps you move around vertically a little bit faster. I have never slid on that rock. Weird. Anyway.
Yeah, generally speaking, for a lot of our movement, we actually don't need high jump in the categories that aren't Path of Legends, where we're required to get it. Just because of BLJs, the way that they work, they just allow us to get up slopes fairly easily. So a lot of times when high jump would be helpful, we can just BLJ up them instead.
Exactly.
Nice.
So it's for the non-Path of Legend categories, it's actually a lot less helpful than you might think.
All right, chat, we've talked about olives. We've talked about pineapple and pizza. What's everyone's favorite breakfast cereal? I happen to like Cocoa Puffs. Look, Cocoa Puffs. Whoa, look at them. They're rocks. They're really, really big rocks.
I don't know. I think you should taste one.
I would prefer not to. Okay, well, there. Okay. I tasted
Looked like a rock to me.
Like I didn't realize Pokemon Scarlet did a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with Cocoa Puffs.
There's an actually, were you going to say what I think you're about to say?
Probably. Go ahead.
All right. One of the community members named Garfield the Lightning actually had an instance where he ran up this mountain, and then if you enter the cutscene, basically around the same time that a rock hits you, it can actually just bounce off your head instead of breaking. I have had that happen to me exactly once, and it was in the SGDQ practice room this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had Garf got it the first time. I was the second. Dinah was the third. As far as I'm aware, no one else has gotten it. It's very funny when it happens though, because instead of the rock just breaking like what we just saw, it just bounces off your head at 100 miles an hour.
Just goes bonk and then into the ether. One interesting thing about all of these sort of like Titan HM moves is that they're kind of the opposite of what you would expect the Titan to actually give you. For example, we had Orthworm, which gives you high jump, and Orthworm is a worm that cannot jump. Bombardier gives you the ability to swim, although it is a bird. Take that for what you will.
Weird.
Yep, and then Cloth the Crab lets you run fast. The Paradox version of Donphan, depending on which game you're playing, gives you the ability to fly. And then lastly, the fish, Tatsugiri, gives you the ability to climb. So none of them make any sense, which is in of itself its own pattern.
Seeing a question in chat, are Titans catchable? The ones that you fight, like these large ones, you cannot catch. But after you fight them, or even just in general around the spawn areas, you can find the smaller versions of them. I think I don't play Scarlet and Violet super casually, so I don't know anything about marks or anything like that. But there might be a possibility that you can get a large mark or something around the area in which the Titan is.
We actually ran past it at the very start. So after we beat the Titan Cloth, when we were running to do that BLJ to start heading north, we ran past a static cloth, and that is the Titan Cloth. If you go up and talk to it, you can fight it and catch it, and it does in fact have the greatest size mark. All of these static Titans that you can get after beating them in the normal fight are automatically their largest size.
Yeah, I think in universe it's explained, Arvid explains that the Erba Mystica are the things or the catalysts that enlarge all of these Pokemon. They don't come extra large as is. They just stockpile a whole bunch of Erba Mystica and keep eating them and keep growing strong.
I like how someone in chat each time we get to these cutscenes, just in all caps, sandwich music.
Honestly, the music in Scarlet and Violet slaps, especially the Arvid.
It's got some bangers.
Exactly. I'm partial to Starfall Street because there's just so many bangers in that, especially the Penny theme. But the Arvid theme has a special place in my heart too.
Yes.
All right, so we are headed towards Titan number 4. We are going to grab one more rare candy to help our Meowscarada grow just a little bit more. Give you the Miracle Seed, and then we're going to get rid of Aura Sphere because we don't need that anymore, and we're going to teach Knockoff instead. Meowscarada is a Grass Dark hybrid type Pokemon, and Knockoff will be helpful for one particular Pokemon that we face later on.
And if you're confused why we chose to get rid of our one fighting move when we had 3 grass moves, it's because of we talked about earlier a little bit, that we can't turn off move animations. And so when we have the opportunity to do so, we want to use moves that have a shorter animation. And this isn't 100% accurate, but it's generally true that weaker moves have a faster animation. With the moves that we're currently dealing with, it's very much true. Leafage's animation is significantly faster
than fast.
Flower Trick, which is our other physical grass move. So we really do want to keep both of them on our moveset. Flower Trick when we need to use it, and then Leafage in every other situation.
Let's say hello to Ancient Dawn fan. This is great, Tusk. Oddly enough, so in the any percent version, on the Switch 2, it's been sort of equalized between Scarlet and Violet. It used to be that Violet was the slower one. The hypothesis was that Miraidon being on screen with so many particle effects would lag out the game. On the Switch 2, it's been equalized. Both games run perfectly normal, but Violet saves 1 turn on the very final fight of the game, I believe, which makes it just ever so slightly faster than Scarlet. In this category, Scarlet is actually the faster game to run because Great Tusk is ground fighting, while Iron Treads, the Violet counterpart, is ground steel. And because steel resists grass, you actually need to take a couple more turns on Iron Treads to KO it, whereas against Great Tusk, we actually have the opportunity to KO it in one shot with Grass Knots. Hopefully we get the range. We are level 54. Usually you would run this at level 53. Like I said, I'm just throwing that extra level in for marathon safety, which will also help with nailing the range on this Great Tusk. Solid.
Nice.
When we speak of ranges in Pokemon games, we normally talk about there is a damage calculation and then at the end of that formula, it gets multiplied by a factor of 0.85 to 1, basically. So you have 16 discrete sort of damage rolls. So when we say something like, this grass knot on Great Tusk is a 13 and 16, it means that 13 out of the 16 damage rolls after the calculations would faint the Great Tusk, basically. There will be one more range later on after this cutscene.
What is your cat's special attack?
It is... Oh, gosh, I'm trying to remember. It's pretty good. I think it's 30 special attack.
Okay, then I think that was a 15 and 16.
Okay. Yeah, usually a level up will help that range by like 1 or 2 sixteenths, give or take.
Unless you are going to a level that ends in 0, 3, 5, or 8, in which case the damage formula does something weird, and those levels just get an extra bonus to damage.
Shoutouts to Corvinate for forever ingraining that in my mind with her whiteboard demonstration. Yeah, so if we had been level 55 there, it probably would have just been a guaranteed kill, but we don't... Getting another rare candy is, on average, slower than it would be to KO at that range.
Yeah, when it comes down to routing these games especially, in other Pokemon games, you pretty much just have whatever XP you have, and you just have to deal with it. In Scarlet and Violet, there's always more EXP on the table. And so you start wondering, okay, how long would it take me to get another candy? And what are the odds that not getting that candy is going to make me miss a range? And so it's very much a balancing act of what is the minimum amount of candies I can get to still get through fights fairly quickly. And as Arvin says, we just have one more herb to go, which brings us to Tatsugiri, the false dragon titan, I believe.
Yeah.
And
I think Dondozo is the false dragon, right?
Yeah, and then Tatsugiri is just there.
Tatsugiri is the sushi titan. For all intents and purposes, it's the sushi titan. It's just literally a piece of sushi.
For all of our other titan fights that we've done, it's been 2 phases. This one is a bit different in that it is in fact 3 phases. So we have an initial phase against Dondozo that we're going up against right now, and then we're going to fight Dondozo a second time, and then when that one's done, we're going to fight Tatsugiri.
It's raining. This surely will not matter.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, if it hits you with muddy water, if it's picking muddy water, you're fine anyway.
Yeah, but my cat's special defense is pretty bad.
It's muddy water.
It's my special defense. It'll be fine. I will actually be saving for this fight because this is one of the 2 fights in this category that can actually go very, very wrong. I have a couple of backup strats in case things do go wrong, but in the worst case scenario, that save will be there.
And as I mentioned before, heavy Pokemon. Dondozo is very heavy, so Grass Knot is quite helpful against him as well.
Right. If you know anything about VGC, you know how much of a pain Dondozo is with Tatsugiri in its belly. I personally have never gone to VGC. It looks really, really cool. I do not have the brain power to play mind games with people on the internet. I just follow speedrun route.
Same, actually.
But here's sort of phase 2 of the Dondozo portion of this Titan fight. 2 Grass Knots is a guaranteed KO on it. The only things that can really happen here are like Dondozo knows a move called Water Pulse. Water Pulse is a water move that has a chance to confuse you. I do have some full heals just in case. And it also has Body Slam, which can paralyze you, but thankfully we did not get the error there.
I like the 4 Dondozo in the background.
Why are there... Okay,
That was
There's
not a
5.
thing
There's
on
one
Switch
behind
1.
the Dondozo.
Yeah.
Oh my
On
god.
Switch 1, there would not be wild Pokemon in the background of these fights. And now there's 4 Dondozo and a bunch of other Pokemon.
Truly the Switch 2 difference. Alright, here is Tatsugiri. This is a menace. I'm going to start off by using an X attack, and then we will go from there. X attacks or X items in this game boost a stat by 2 levels, so this effectively is doubling our attack. Muddy Water is perfectly fine there. That was a lot of damage. And Tail Whip is beautiful, actually. This is the best way this fight can probably go.
Yeah, that's about the ideal opening.
All right, we're gonna use that flower remove grass trick, flower trick here. Get some damage onto Tatsugiri, and we should survive another Muddy Water, just barely. Like I said, my special defense is really bad, and it is also raining, which means that water moves get boosted by an additional 50%.
Yeah, if it hadn't been raining, then Green actually would have lived the double Muddy Water. And if it had gone for takedown on turn 2, you can actually get a 2-turn fight with that setup. But a fast 3-turn is... I don't complain about those.
I will take that.
Yeah.
Tatsugiri has a move called Icy Wind, which hits both opposing Pokemon, is Ice type, so it's super effective against Meowscarada, a Grass type. And it also has the added benefit / detriment of lowering your speed. And after 1 Icy Wind, I cannot outspeed the Tatsugiri. So if I saw that there, I would have used an X Special Defend to tank the next one and then healed back up to full.
Yeah, Tatsugiri is the big run killer. Well,
one of the big run killers. The other one.
This is a very safe run, except for the 2 run killers, and they are back-to-back at the very end of the run. So we just fought one of them, and our very next fight features the other one.
Exactly. Thankfully, though, like, we are on Express Lane. This is a very short Pokemon category compared to some other ones. Like, modern Switch Pokemon games tend to run like anywhere between 3 to 5 hours. This is a very nice, digestible, like 50-ish minute run. This is actually the first run that I ever did on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's the first one that I grinded. So it does have a special place in my heart. Chat,
Yeah, I started off with
sandwich music.
I started off with Starfall Street, and then helped out with the routing of this one, like I mentioned.
Yeah, originally the main Pokemon that was used for all categories of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is Flamigo, a little flamingo pink Borb. And eventually, there's like a little meme of a hashtag called Flamigon, where people try to route out Flamigo. And it's really interesting because Flamigo still takes any % in Victory Road. The water starter Quaxley, which evolves eventually into Quacklevolt, takes over Starfall Street as the main. And then Path of Legends, we have Meowscarada here. Fuecoco does get used in Victory Road, albeit it's for a single gym and then has death fodder immediately afterward. But so all starters kind of get their time to shine in this category, or not this category, this series of games. With all 5 Herba Mystica gathered, Mabostiv is back to full health.
Yay!
We love a good healthy puppy. We love a good, reunite with best friend in full health. And now we get to the final portion of this category, where Professor Sada, or Professor Turo in Pokemon Violet, is Arven's parents. They are kind of stuck over in Area 0. If you have played the video games, you will know why. But we're going to go ahead and head back to the Pokepath Lighthouse, which is the first area that we flew to get some more information out of the professor. And then we will be fighting Arven, just as a little sort of warm-up bout for Mabostiv to get back into its fighting form now that it's all better.
There is one more challenge that we have to do that I forgot about. between Tatsugiri and the Arvin fight. And let's see how that goes.
I am now remembering this. Also, there's 2 challenges, really. The first is making sure that we fly to the Pokepath Lighthouse.
That was good.
Yeah, that was very good. For whatever reason, the objective marker for this particular area is directly on top of the flight path. So sometimes you can just kind of get owned and click the objective rather than the flight point a million times. I've definitely done that in practice.
Yeah, it's rough when you're on PV pace and then your cursor gets stuck on the objective instead of the fly point.
No.
You just waste 5
And it goes
seconds.
like, set as destination. No, set as destination. No, set as destination. Please, for the love of Arceus, please let me fly there.
We're not bitter.
No, not at all. That's safe for the bitter Herba Mystica.
Ooh. That was clean.
Thank you. I'll be here for the next approximately 5 minutes.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so here, the professor's letting you know, hey, we want you to come visit me in Area 0. Take some friends with you. Which begs the question, I feel like Arvin is the true main character of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and we're just here to support him in his endeavors.
You have to gather friends for him.
Yeah, which is referencing the other 2 storylines. All right, very important dialogue choice here. We did it. We picked option 2. If you pick option 1, Arvin does sort of this extended, shakes his head maneuver, and it loses you 2 seconds. It's very funny.
GG on saving those 2 seconds, so.
Thank you. All right, this fight has gone 3 times in practice, which means I am prepared for this to go completely off the rails live. Arvin is going to lead with his greetings. Arvin's team is basically the friends that he's made along the way. Every sort of doubles partner that we fought alongside him for each of the Titans he uses in this battle. He leads off with his starter, well, not really starter, but in the opening sequence of the game, you fight against a Squovit, which is now evolved into a Greedent. This Greedent is a menace. It knows Body Slam, and it gets Stab, which is same type attack bonus, which increases that move's power by 50%. And Body Slam has a chance to paralyze. So we have to tank 2 Body Slams and hope that we don't die and we don't get paralyzed. If we do get paralyzed, I do have a backup. But we're just going to assume that's not going to happen, and we'll just get through the fight as it's supposed to be gotten through.
So the reason why we need to take 2 Body Slams is because we need 2 Dex attacks to get up to +4. And then Arvin Boss Chip has Intimidate, so we're going to go back down to -3.
So Body Slam number 1.
Greedent will always pick Body Slam. And with 30% chance to paralyze on each of these, that's not great. And then also it can crit, which is also not great. But perfect
Let's
fight.
go.
Nice.
4 times in a row I've dodged it. So this is the good version of the fight. We have set up Overgrow while at +4 attack. This is really good because we get to basically just steamroll the fight. If we did get paralyzed, I would have to heal, and then I would have to Terrasilize, which is the Gen 9 mechanic, where you throw your Terror Orb and your Pokemon becomes crystallized. Very, very cool mechanic, very cool in VGC, but also very slow. This is also the first time that you'll get to see Leafage. Just your standard 40 base power grass move. Very, very weak, but very fast. So if we can use it here by setting up Overgrow, we want to use it. In fact, we use basically each one of our attacks on the optimal setup here, depending on the nature of your cats. There's Mr. Shelder with Life Dew.
I don't think he has Life Dew anymore.
Probably not.
It'd be really funny if he did, though.
In a singles fight. And here's our Mabasta. We get to -3 attack because of that Intimidate. And Overgrow gives us the boost that we need to push through. Each of the the main NPC's Pokemon, including like gym leaders, have increased HP. They max out their effort values in HP, so they become really, really tanky. So we need that +3 boost, plus the Overgrow, plus a nice little Flower Trick in order to KO Mabasta. Sorry, buddy, I know you just got better, but we got a speedrun to finish. Okay, and that is the final fight done. Time will be not at the end of this fight. There will be a little play card that says Path of Legends complete, and when that border completely disappears, that will be time.
GG. Very clean run overall.
Yeah, honestly, that went way better than I thought that would have been with all the weird things going on in practice. And with that, I've actually completed all 3 base single stories on Hotfix.
Nice.
So really, really cool, and a really cool send-off before ZA comes out. So time will be soon, and time.
GG's.
GG.
That was awesome.
I think that was like a 47 something. I want to say I wasn't keeping track.
47, 48.
Yeah, not too bad for safe strats in a marathon, right?
And 2 encounters.
Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh, don't remind me. But yeah, that's Path of Legends. Really, really digestible speedrun. You can get set up on this if you want and run it yourself. There's a lot of cool people in the Pokemon Switch speedrunning Discord. You can find that on any of the Switch Pokemon games pages on speedrun.com. I have been Dynam. I do a lot of Pokemon speedruns. I'll be streaming Legends ZA like a fiend when it comes out in 2 days. I'm really, really looking forward to that because it's the first mainline release I'll get to experience with the rest of the community live. So if you want to see more of that, you can follow me at twitch.tv/Dynam with an underscore afterward. And thanks for having me on. Spider, do you want to say anything about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to ZA as well. Probably do some streams, learning the speedrun and everything. But PSR is great. Highly recommend checking it out, especially with a new game coming out. It's always the most fun time in Pokemon speedrunning is whenever there's a new game and seeing the community efforts to get it all routed. So if you are interested, I highly recommend checking it out.
Agreed. GG's to both of you. That was an absolutely amazing run of Pokemon Scarlet Path of Legends. Give GG's in chat one more time, and we are going to be heading on to our final hydration break. But when we come back, we're shifting gears a little bit and heading on over to Pokemon Trading Card Game. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back, friends, to the final run of today's episode of Express Lane. We are featuring Pokemon runs. Before we get to that, I want to give you one more quick reminder that today's stream is sponsored by the absolutely wonderful Superman on HBO Max. A new generation of superhero is here. In this blockbuster, Superman faces off against tech billionaire Lex Luthor and tries to find the balance between his Kryptonian heritage and life as journalist Clark Kent. Critics call it wonderfully entertaining and an awe-inspiring spectacle. Stream James Gunn's smash hit Superman on HBO Max right now. And thank you so much for that wonderful partnership that we have with HBO Max. And check out Superman. It is so good. I am obsessed and it is amazing. You should absolutely check it out. But before we go into our final run, shout out to the Gen 1 fans in attendance and me and like 5 people in the world whose favorite Pokemon just happens to be Magmar. I forgot to mention that earlier, but my boy Magmar is here, and we're going to introduce our final run, which is going to be Pokemon Trading Card Game, any % glitchless with Tauronite. So hello, friend.
Hello, everybody. Oscar, thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's always good to be here on GDQ Hotfix showcasing this game off. At this point, I think it's like my 5th time showcasing this game on GDQ, which I'm more than happy to do so. So for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Tornite. I run this game quite extensively, a lot. So it's going to be a fun time. One thing I want to appreciate is the fact that, we are... First of all, we have everybody Bulbasaur with a little bit of a spoiler warning already as to kind of what we're going to go for. But I also want to appreciate all the wonderful Pokemon speedrunning community. We've had some fantastic runs, and there are going to be some stuff that if you've been sticking around from the start of the show, you're going to see a little bit of deja vu. But without further ado, we're going to start our run, and obviously we need to name our character. This time, not Hotfix. We're going to name, I think this is fine, right? Express. I think that's how you spell express.
It's the express form of express. It counts.
Yeah, that counts. Okay. All right. We are ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Pokemon TCG. For anyone who doesn't know what this game is, it is the trading card. It's basically Gen 1 red, blue, but in trading card form. So it's there's a lot of really cool things about this game. Not just from the speed, trust me, the speed of this game is gonna be unreal. You want to talk about express? Oh my god, it's gonna be quite a ride. So one thing that we're gonna do, what we love to show this off in marathon style runs, is we're gonna cheat a little bit, and by that I mean, okay, so this category is called any percent glitchless. Normally we would start off with a run with a save file after the tutorial. The tutorial is 8 minutes long. We ain't got 8 minutes to go for an entire tutorial. So we're gonna do something really cool that we all love to show off here at GDQ. Something, a cool little glitch called Dual Escape. What it basically does is you essentially press certain buttons at a specific frame in the middle of a duel. And when you do so, you automatically win the duel. And you can essentially use this glitch to beat the game in 20 minutes.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Where was this when I was a kid?
It's funny. So this game is available on the Switch 2 Virtual Console. You can actually, this glitch is still doable on those systems. It is also doable on original Game Boy Color versions. You cannot do this glitch on the 3DS Virtual Console port, and you also cannot do this on Japanese versions of this game. So there's a little bit of a caveat with a lot of different things. However, this obviously is the correct version of the game where we want to actually execute this glitch. So obviously you're going to see a lot of the menu and everything is gone. It's an absolute crawl. And the cool thing about getting to show this off is that we don't have to do the tutorial, because if you mess up one thing at any point in the tutorial, you lose like 30 seconds. So let's not do that. So I'm going to execute this and see. So we go select, then down A, and then we press this little menu. There we go. Boom. And that is Dual Escape. You automatically win and you beat the tutorial. Like, it's that simple. You can do this with any duel against any opponent in the entire game, and you can, like I said, you can beat the game in 20 seconds. It's unreal. But now we're actually gonna start the run, actually now begin to do things. So here's the thing: we have 3 decks. I think it's kind of obvious that we're gonna pick Bulbasaur. Unfortunately, I was gonna make a joke that we're gonna pick the Trico. But however, we're keeping in theme with grass starters being being the starter of choice tonight. So we're gonna we're going to skip all the animations. We're going to go fast text. Now, we're going to do something that I like to show off also. This is a special form of RNG manipulation that we do at the start of a run. When we soft reset the game, basically a global frame rule is frame counter is showing off. So if we wait this, this should hopefully give us a Hitmonchan. No, not a Hitmonchan, it's a Scyther. I was a couple of frames early on that one. But yeah, basically, we get a free booster pack, and that free booster pack, there is a 5-frame window at about 17.1 seconds, where if we hit the read mail and see if I can hit it this time, that feels good. Really, that was a frame late, I believe. Okay, we're giving it one more go. It's not important. I believe. Okay, we're giving it one more go. It's not important, but I do love showing it off. If you just hit it one time, if you hit the read mail option one time, we are able to get a free Hitmonchan, which is honestly very vital. That also feels pretty good. There we go. There we go. First try. Yeah. Ignore all those was me showing off what it's like to fail this RNG manipulation. That's what we're gonna keep it at. The early game. Hitmonchan is essentially going to be our ace for almost half, if not a little over half of the battles that we're going to encounter through this game. And because of that, it's always better to have 2 instead of 1, because the way this game works is the following. You basically have a team of Pokemon you put out throughout the entire duel. And when you do so, you want to be able to knock out all of your opponent's Pokemon. And because of that, we want to make sure that we have we have 1 or 2 Pokemon, that at the very least we can, let's see. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. So we want to make sure that we at least have 2 Pokemon, because the way Pokemon TCG works is the following. We have prize cards. Those prize cards are basically rewards we get for knocking out our opponent's Pokemon. Most duels are going to be 4 prize cards, and some duels are going to be, 3. Boss fights are going to be 6. You win by automatically taking all of the prize cards. However, if you're able to knock out your opponent's Pokemon, all of your opponent's Pokemon before getting to that point, you automatically win the duel. So we want to aim for a first turn. Oh my god, beautiful first turn win right there. So normally we would need to knock out 4 Pokemon, but because she's done with the she doesn't have any other Pokemon, we automatically win. And let's see what our booster pack rewards. We get a Scyther. That is nice. Scyther is actually going to be pretty nice, actually. But yeah, you kind of already saw the speed of how these duels are going, and believe me, it's going to be like this throughout the entire run, and it is going to be a fun ride. Having a first turn win against the first fight, which can be really annoying, it's actually really good. So thankfully, the way with Hitmonchan, especially in the early games of Pokemon TCG, there's not a lot of variety. However, Hitmonchan has 70 HP, which is a lot for a basic Pokemon. It can do 20 damage with 1 energy attack, which is basically your resources throughout the entire in order to attack. So we want to make sure that we have energy to give to our lovely Hitmonchan, which is why at the start of the run, after I did the manipulation, the RNG manipulation to get us a second Hitmonchan, we went and talked to an NPC and kind of did a little bit of trickery with the deck to give us essentially 20 free fighting energy, which is going to be vitally important. But yeah, I am excited to see. Everybody loves Pokemon TCG. I especially love it. Oscar, I don't know about you, but I adored playing this game. Not just this game, but the real life TCG when I was growing up. And by the way, you're gonna love this story, Oscar. So,
sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hello, Magmar. Bye, Magmar. Anyways. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it, Oscar.
Fair.
By the way, that was supposed to be one of the hardest fights in the early game. This is going, as far as the dueling is concerned, this has been an exceptional start. Which of course it means it's gonna be a mess immediately afterwards, and I'm gonna eat crow. That's just how it is with this game. Except
it's marathon luck in general.
Except what is going on? This is in first try, the first 4 duels, no resets whatsoever. What is going on? Okay, this is, All right, game. This RNG is, or not RNG, well, a little bit of RNG, but also this is going really, really well. Oh, well, there we go. That's the first reset. Zapdos. Oof. So the thing that I was a little bit confused about having, not needing to reset at all in the first few duels is the fact that there's a lot of Pokemon that resist Hitmonchan. I haven't really gotten much to talk about resistances and weaknesses, but they operate a little bit differently in the TCG. So with Pokemon TCG, or at least back in 1998, if you hit a Pokemon for their weakness, you do double damage. If you hit a Pokemon with that is resistant to the type, by the way, it's not just a straight up, rock beats scissor beats paper. Every Pokemon has their own individual weakness and resistances. If you hit for resistance, you subtract 30. So there's a lot of Pokemon in the early game that are weak to Hitmonchan, but there's the occasional Pokemon that is resistant, and we want to avoid that. That is a computer search. That is an incredibly good card. That is one of the best cards in the entire game. Basically, you discard 2 cards, and you get to add any card from the deck and add it to your hand. Let me repeat that.
Oh.
Any card.
Oh. That's OP.
It's exceptionally OP. Now, I might have to reset this one depending on what happens. Okay, I'm gonna I'm hesitant to keep this going because it's a bit slow, but you know what? Oh boy, this will be fun. Let's see if we go. Oh no. Oh no. Flip until Tails appears. There we go. Oh my god. 4 straight coin flips, landing heads. By the way, you want to know what the odds of that? Of 4 straight coin flips landing heads? It's 6.25%. I know. I've experienced these odds way too much.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. I'm curious for people who have played this game before and encountered this Geodude. I'm curious to see what are the odds, or what is the longest you've had in dealing with that kind of RNG. My record is 8 coin. Oops, I accidentally. That's fine. My record is 8 straight coin flips landing heads. 8. I think that's like I could be wrong, but I think it's like a less than 1% chance. You gotta be kidding me. There we go. Oh, and just enough to knock out Hitmonchan. Cool, thanks. I appreciate it.
It knows.
Yeah, this is why I was afraid to kind of keep this fight going, because I was afraid this RNG was gonna. But at the same time, this RNG and booster pack rewards in the coin flips are confusing me. I got 2 computer searches. That is like a less than maybe like a 1%, maybe less than 1% chance of that happening. I cannot remember the last time I had 2 computer searches at this point on the run, or at any point in a run. This is gonna set us up really nicely for the remainder of the run, especially in the late game.
So you just had to pay the coin flip tax to get it.
Yeah, all I had to do was go. It was had 2 separate instances of stuff. Probability of less than in the single digits. So of course it always happens. That's how it be with this game sometimes. Pokemon TCG giveth and it taketh. Oh, by the way, Oscar, you're gonna love this story that I had. So, grew up in Puerto Rico. Okay. Everybody loved the Pokemon TCG. I mean, everywhere in the world loves this game. The card game, the Game Boy Color game, etc. In my school, I named myself our school's gym leader, quote unquote, and so my gym badge was random bottle caps I would find, and then I would just put like on magic marker, like my initials. And then what I would do, and we had a rule, I made like a special rule, which in hindsight, if you, once people who know the Pokemon TCG, when I tell you this rule, you're gonna look at me like, what are you doing? That is a dumb rule. You know how I've mentioned that we have energy requirements to be able to attack at all, It's to keep, put a little bit of balance on the game. Stronger Pokemon need more energy to attack and everything. My rule was that you don't need energy to attack, not even once. Ooh, yeah, that is the reason right there. Scyther resists fighting. It only resists fighting, which is really weird. But yeah, I also didn't know how to construct the deck. So imagine me just basically being like, okay, everyone they don't need to use energy cards. It's fine. It was the worst decision I could have done. But I was a terrible gym leader, let me tell you. I was awful at it. Okay, I'm resetting that one because I was not expecting Amanda to have 2 potions to heal, so I'm just gonna go for full-on barrage of attacks here. Oh my god. So the Amanda fight is a really, really strange fight. So Amanda has, by the way, she's a water club trainer, and her ace is Scyther. Her other ace is Wigglytuff. Explain that to me first, by the way. And normally, obviously, you think Charmander. Well, why Charmander? You're in the water club. Well, the thing is Scyther is a very, very common lead for Amanda. And so we have this sort of weird hybrid deck with Charmander and Hitmonchan to sort of basically deal like Charmander's for Scyther and Hitmonchan is for Wigglytuff and even Poliwag as well. But thankfully, we went for that relatively painlessly. And now comes one of my favorite parts of the run is showing off. I mean, the music so far, I'm sure everybody already appreciates how good the music is in this game. Oh, we're gonna kick it into overdrive here because the the boss music in this game is, it's incredible. Let me see if there's any other cards I can add that don't regret. Super Potion might actually be useful down the road. So I'll just add it right now. So this is the boss music. I'm gonna shut up for about 10 seconds, for about half a minute while you all appreciate this boss music. It's such good music. I gotta tell you, it's incredible. Like, they really outdid themselves with this game, with the soundtrack of this game. And it's actually a bit of a shame we're not going to be able to listen to every single track in the game because there's a couple of overworld tracks and a couple of boss tracks that we're not going to be able to see because it's 80% glitchless, not other categories like all battles. But but the music that we're already listening, it's so good. And while
I'm just totally vibing out over here.
No,
Don't mind me.
The music is just absolutely incredible. Here's a fun little fact about the bosses. So by the way, this is Gene. Obviously, the boss music kind of indicates, yeah, this is not a normal fight. Now, here's a fun little fact about bosses in this game. They cheat. Like, they are literally programmed to cheat. You know, when you are required in Pokemon when your opening hand must have a basic Pokemon, otherwise you can't even start a battle. The game has it programmed to where bosses will always have at least 2 basic Pokemon. So you will never, under normal circumstances, ever have an encounter where you can potentially win on turn 1 against a boss. Now, I do say under normal circumstances. We'll get into the not so normal circumstances later on in the run, but the boss fights are obviously going to take a while because one, they are 6 prizes long instead of the usual 4. The other is that they will always have at least 2 Pokemon, but thankfully, this run has been going pretty darn solid for me, so knock on wood that everything's going to be fine. By the way, here's a fun little fact about this Pidgey. This Pidgey is one of 2 ways, technically Ultra Pidgeotto, and it's not because it's Pidgey or Pidgeotto, but it's because they have the move Whirlwind. If you're able to do certain inputs and you use the dual escape glitch that I showed off at the start, let's see if this is gonna land hands. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Let's see if I can manipulate this coin flip and see if I can get perfect. Okay, I'll get into my point about that Whirlwind in just a second, but what I just did is a special kind of RNG manipulation in this game. So, as I said at the start of the run, everything is dictated by a global frame counter that is dictating everything. So, I'm not going to use the bus analogy that everyone is familiar with. I'm going to use a different kind of bus analogy. It's not so much that, hey, there's going to be a bus at certain intervals. No. Every single frame, there is a new bus taking you to a new place and you don't know where that's going to take you. However, the only instance where the frame is frozen, for lack of a better word, is during duels. Meaning, you can, if you see something happen, like a coin flip landing a certain way, it will generally always go in that direction. So, what we did just then was unfreeze the RNG. There are certain actions you can do in a duel where you can actually unfreeze the RNG and get to the next frame. And by doing so, you can essentially re-randomize everything. I used that Pokeball just a second ago to waste away that coin flip that landed tails because I knew it was going to land tails. So what I did was waste away that coin flip and re-rolled the RNG. So now we actually made it so that we won that duel against that Zubat. But yeah, that Whirlwind from that Pidgeotto, if you're able to do certain button inputs correctly, you can that is actually how you can execute a wrong warp to go to the credits if memory serves me correctly, meaning you can beat the game in, remember when I said you can beat the game in 20 minutes? That method,
that would be it?
You can beat it in like 5 minutes.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, this game has that, and it's funny, the wrong warp method that gets you all the way to basically gets you. Oh, that is not what I want to happen. That is that was quite a lot to deal with. Do I have a? No, I don't. So let's see if I can paralyze him. Okay, at least that's something. So it's interesting because that discovery was actually relatively recent. It was, I think, it was discovered in, I want to say 2020, like the day after, like during COVID is when this got discovered. So it's amazing how like 2 decades after this game was released, boom, there's still more discoveries about this game.
That is absolutely wild. I love it.
Yeah, no, this game, it's fundamentally, it's a very, very good game that honestly it's near to my heart. This is actually the very first game I've grinded in terms of speedrunning, and I can't say I regret that decision because this has been, I'm on GDQ. I'm with my friend Oscar. We're on GDQ. We're on Express Lane. It's a fun time.
Agreed, and we'd love to have you here.
Yeah, and by the way, shout out to all the runs that we've had so far tonight. It was just I was watching while I was just here in the office, just mentally preparing for this run. And it was just a delight. So hopefully we'll be able to cap off with another great run, which so far has been actually pretty solid. So Amy's the water club trainer, and Amy's kind of an interesting fight. Really, what's important is figuring out the your opening hand, you want to try to get good trainer cards. So stuff like full heals, potions, defenders are vital to winning this duel. And another thing that's very vital is making sure your Electabuzz coin flips actually land heads and you paralyze your opponent instead of the other way around. Squirtle can paralyze you. Go figure. I don't know why. From Bubble, of all things.
What?
Yeah, Bubble can paralyze. The Water Club has a lot of really interesting things. It was when I first was running this game, I learned one really just bizarre thing. Do you remember when I said every single Pokemon has their own individual weakness and resistances, right?
Right.
You know Magikarp, right? It's one of the most famous Pokemon or infamous Pokemon in the game for how weak it is. You know, its weakness is electric. Well, in this game, it's called lightning, not electric. I don't know why. Gyarados is water flying. Normally, you would think, okay, 4 times weakness to electric in the main games. Would you like to guess what its weakness is?
No, but probably not electric.
Grass.
What? No.
Yeah, it's absolutely weak to grass. I love throwing that fact out into to people who are experiencing this game because of how just absurd some of these methods are. Okay, so we got Ronald. This is our rival. He's basically blue. Okay, we have Magnemite. He's gonna knock out this seal. We are gonna go off to the races. Oh. Well then.
Oh.
You know what? It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. You know what? Magnemite tried his best. We're going to get another shot. I think Magnemite's going to be able to overcome the odds next time around. He's our rival, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. If we lose, that's not the end of the world. Well, we'll have it. Like I said, we're going to have another shot. And this is kind of now where the fun part's going to begin of the run, because from this point onward, almost entirely, it's going to be a boss rush.
Oh.
So I believe, if memory serves me correctly, I believe we have... Let's see, I'm trying to think off the top of my head while trying to do this run. We have only 2 non-boss fights remaining. After that, everything else is a boss fight from this point onwards.
Jeez.
Which means you'll get to enjoy the wonderful, wonderful music this game has to offer. See, Magnemite, there we go. You're trying. It's trying. You know what? Give credit to Magnemite. Chad, everybody give credit to Magnemite where credit is due. He's trying his best, both on my side and on the opponent's side of things, with self-destruct. One of these days, it's gonna work. Magnemite is gonna work. I don't know how, but it's gonna work.
It'll find a way.
Yeah. Life finds a way. Yeah, so this little segment is kind of pretty much a really fun segment in terms of the boss rush, because all you're going through is just the trio. Well, we didn't actually play the trio because Isaac only has lightning Pokemon and a Kangaskhan and Tauros, but basically Diglett himself can knock out every single Pokemon this guide has to offer. And then we have Ken, who is a fire, quote unquote, the fire club leader. You're gonna see probably not as much fire as one would think. Already starting off with Jigglypuff. Yeah, very notorious fire type Pokemon, I might add.
Oh, absolutely.
And you also notice
Charizard wishes.
For a brief moment, you may have noticed that wow, that is 4 straight coin flips, I think. 4 straight coin flips that landed tails.
Oh, jeez.
That is fine. That's fine, because we have the trio, and evolution cures all status ailments. So we have absolutely no problem. Hey, I don't know if you saw for a brief second, Oscar, but there's your guy. Base said Magmar.
Yep, I did.
All right, Magmar is an absolute unit. If it ever gets a chance to attack, I feel so bad. We've seen it.
It's just staring there angrily.
Seen it twice, and both instances I knocked it out in one hit. I feel a little bad.
I get it for the sake of speed. Fine.
All right, let's see if this Tauros. Okay, Ken's gonna lose this turn. I don't know why he had to do all that setup. That's fine. Not the end of the world. That's not the fight I'm worried about. The next boss fight is infamous among speedrunners for a variety of reasons. Murray is our psychic gym leader. He operates very similarly to Ken, where he just has a lot of bulky, like normal type Pokemon. However, there's one tiny little wrinkle, and that is Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime has the ability of a passive ability that is active basically at all times, where any move that does more than 20 damage automatically is nullified. So that is kind of where things starts to get a tiny bit dicey. And we want to try to make sure that we are not put in a position where things can potentially go very, very wrong. Okay, so Hitmonchan is there. I don't want to go. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to overextend and try to see if I can knock out the Abra early. But yeah, these chances are going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. But thankfully, we are. Oh, there's a Mr. Mime. Okay, that's actually fine. That's actually really, really fine. Because, so the way Murray operates in this game is a little bit differently. If Murray sees that there is a Pokemon that, a fighting type Pokemon, it kind of operates a little bit similar to Gen 1 rules. Where, I see a type that conventionally I can beat out. Then let me try to see if I can take it out. Well, normally if it sees any fighting type Pokemon, Murray will actually force his psychic type Pokemon to try and to confront it, even if the matchup actually makes zero sense. So you kind of saw right there, Mr. Mime had no way of attacking, but still brought it out because fighting type. Normally fighting types are weak to psychic. So. And also, this is also the other thing with Murray. He is the only leader in the entire game, the only gym leader, where he has a medal count. Meaning that, yeah, you kind of see right there. Yeah, he had an Abra. No, he couldn't do anything with it, but he sees Hitmonchan and like, locked in on the Hitmonchan. And basically make massive amounts of misplays. But he is the only leader with a medal count, meaning that after 4 medals, you are allowed to challenge him, which for routing purposes has made routing this game an absolute nightmare at times. I cannot tell you how many times myself and other runners of this game have thought of, oh my god, this is a cool new route that we can think of, and then we come to the conclusion, But Murray, and it just immediately stops it dead in our tracks. But now that we got 5 medals, Chad, Asuka, say hi to our little friend, Magnemite. I swear, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make the Magnemite boom strat work. Chad, do you believe? Asuka, do you believe? All right, so we're now seeing how how it will work. Okay, we have Magnemite, obviously. And hopefully, the Magnemite boom strat becomes a big success. Oh no, we got paralyzed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Magnemite, no! Oh no. Poor Magnemite. Hardly knew ye. Couldn't even pull off the self-destruct strat. So unfortunate. That is fine. Okay, if it wasn't made abundantly clear, the way the rival fights work in this game is a little bit differently. So the way it works is after 2 medals and after 5 medals, you fight Ronald. Progress is not affected whatsoever in this game. So we basically try to use a strat that makes us lose on purpose for the purposes of speed, because when we beat Ronald, first of all, it's a boss fight, so automatically it's already a 6 prize card, so that's already gonna take forever. So what's gonna happen is we use Magnemite to use self-destruct to just automatically win, and boom, we are off to the races. Okay, this is a little dicey. Mewtwo is a phenomenal Pokemon. However, this is, I might actually want to reset here because I only have 30 HP left, so I'm hopeful to get at least some form of recovery. Yeah, I'm resetting. That's unfortunate. Yeah. With Mitch, it is a bit of he has a lot of high-powered Pokemon. Mewtwo can sweep everything provided it gets time to set up. And we're going second, and yeah, I'm gonna reset on that one too. But yeah, hopefully everybody's been enjoying this wonderful game so far.
It's honestly been like just fun watching, knowing how bluntly slow it took me to get through this game originally. how long it took me, because I was not like, I was so much better at the trading card, like the cardboard paper version than the digital one. Version. It's like, yeah, the credit card version, exactly. Well, these days,
oh my God, yeah. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh. I play Yu-Gi-Oh, and oh my God, some of these cards are beyond it. There are cards that cost several $100s.
It's wild.
It's unreal.
It's absolutely wild.
Funny enough, if you ask me to play even this version of the game, like against a real life person who actually, plays the game, I'm just gonna say it outright. I'm terrible at actually playing the game as intended. I am actually awful. Like, just the absolute worst when it comes to that. I'm just like, can I just do the dual escape glitch and I automatically win? Okay, thanks, bye. We actually didn't discuss this, but if you notice, we have 7 Pokemon types in this game. Grass, Fire, Water, Lightning, Fighting, Psychic, and Colorless, which is essentially normal types. There are 8 metals. Would you like to know type number 8? Science. Everyone's favorite Pokemon type, the Science Club. There were so few types in 1998 TCG that they had to literally invent a new type for the purposes of the gym.
Which is just like, it's just a collection of just random Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they do make an effort to keep to the theme, like Grimer, Coughing, Porygon, Mewtwo. There's a line. There's a follow through line. It's not amazing, but you can see they were trying for sure.
Right.
All right. Let's see. This. I actually was gonna lose. How about I don't lose? But that's the cool thing about resetting is that it resets to your last action, meaning that you can go back in time and change fate and avoid a loss like I was about to take.
It's like it never
it's like it never happened. Think of it as like you're going through like an alternate reality. Like an alternate universe.
That's
you
fair.
get a glimpse of like a different timeline where, a timeline where Toro Knight absolutely laid an egg and lost to Rick, but this is not that timeline. All right. Now it's on to the last 2 non-boss fights. The last 4 technically last 5 have all been boss fights. But now we are off to essentially it's not a boss fight, but it's kind of a boss fight because of how tough this. Oh, we have Mewtwo. You know what? I'm actually gonna. All right. This is gonna sound tragic, but this Abra is going to be, unfortunately, a sacrificial lamb.
Oh no!
Because. So here's the thing. I was originally going to aim for okay, maybe I'll go for Kadabra. I think that'd be really cool to get a Kadabra in. However, what I did was I used that Pokeball and I was fishing out what was in the, what was going to be at the top of the deck as well. So the way the deck is structured, the top card is always going to be the next card you're going to draw. So you already know, okay, if I don't do anything, what if I kept this and decided, okay, let's see if I can, okay, let's. I may regret this decision, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, no, I think we're gonna be fine. So I saw that Mewtwo was at the very top of the pile, so I'm like, okay, you know what? Then I will just simply keep it rolling and try to see if I can do a sweep with Mewtwo. However, we do have Kadabra, so if something happens to our beloved Mewtwo, that's fine. Not gonna be the end of the world because we already have a Kadabra. Now we could just avoid being stun locked. Oh, Brittany. Brittany is a fight. It's definitely a fight of all time. I think at this point I'm gonna hit. Okay. Now when I was prepared to lose Mewtwo, I'm like, okay, no, you're good. Yeah, this game's funny sometimes.
Also, I like how there's a debate in chat right now. Is basically is Abra a fox or a cat?
I'm gonna say cat.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, we'll go with cat.
All right. Now, drum roll, please. Do we get to add base set Magmar to the... Yes, we do. We do add base set Magmar.
Yay!
All right. Now, I'm adding it for extra firepower, but actually, I'm hoping I actually don't draw Magmar because the Pokemon that we also added, Ponyta and Rapidash, we actually want to try and get a Ponyta and see if we can get an FTK right here with the... Okay, a Gambler. That's actually not bad. Okay, this is a pretty solid deck for the end game for sure. If I can get Ponyta and a double colorless energy, which we do, nice. There's gonna be a Lickitung in the bag, isn't there? Yeah, there is. Oh, that was the hand was literally perfect. It was perfect for me to get a first turn win.
Oh no!
It was perfect.
Except for Lickitung.
Okay, we have Ponyta. I think I may have made the wrong decision. Actually, no, I did not make the wrong call. Let's see. Does Magmar get to actually attack? Please, does Magmar get to finally attack for once in this? Oh, hello, Vileplume. Was not expecting to see you at any point. Oh, there's Lickitung again. That is... Ooh, Petal Dance. That is going to be quite annoying. Is it really going to miss all 3? It missed all 3 coin flips! And it confused itself. Oh, I love this game sometimes. Oh my god. Wait, that's 4 coin flips. 4 straight coin flips ending tails. Oh my god.
The power of Magmar.
Oh, yeah. The streak's over. You know what? It was fun while it lasted.
Yep.
And did I just? Nope. I didn't make a misplay. You made a misplay. I didn't make a misplay.
Everything is
fine. Everything's hunky dory. The Grass Club is typically an easy club, but when you kind of get into RNG messes such as these with the coin flips, Yeah, it can be quite annoying for sure. All right. Would you believe it if I told you we're only 6 fights away from actually beating the game? We only have 6 left.
Oh.
However,
Well then.
now to conquer the grass club, we got to leave the grass club because the gym leader is all the way over here. Basically, we have to beat all 3 of the club trainers, and then we unlock the gym leader. And the gym leader was like, "Oh, that's right. I need to go back to my gym. All right, let's go." This is completely freaking.
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is interesting. We'll see what happens here. Not in love with this. I'm gonna reset. Yeah, I'm gonna reset. Was not in love with that opening hand and going second and likely getting paralyzed first turn. Yeah, there was a repency. Yeah, no, that was the right. Yeah, resetting was the right call because now I can evolve to Rapid Dash on turn 2 if I want to, but I'm not gonna because I'm saving that evolution for when I absolutely need it. So either when I'm about to get knocked out, or if I'm going to. Or if I'm actually gonna get KO'd. But at this point, yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. As long as she doesn't keep adding more Pokemon. Or mine, we're good, yeah. And just like that, we have gotten all 8 medals. And now we can actually go and challenge the Pokemon Dome. And we got about 15 and a half minutes to do it. Okay, pace is good. This is a decent pace, so I feel good. Now, I'm not in love with the fact that I only have 1 Duck Trio, which is the win condition for the end game. But we do have 1, and we have 2 computers. We have a lot of Pokemon, a lot of cards that can search out Duck Trio, so I'm not worried. But before we get to Duck Trio, let's see what our water. Okay, we have 2 Seal, 3 Dugongs. I have 1 Articuno, 3 Magikarps, 1 Gyarados. Okay, I'm sticking with Seal and Dugong. 3 Dugongs is enough to make me feel safe. So here's a fun little quirk about the Elite Four or the Pokemon Dome or the Grandmaster, whatever you want to call them. They have cards. You want to talk about bosses cheating? They have cards where their special abilities, their Pokemon powers that they're called. Some of them are so overpowered that none of these cards were ever actually printed in real life. Because it uses elements of RNG and randomness that the actual TCG never took into account. As you saw, it was a blink. I'm gonna have to reset that one. This was a terrible opening hand. It was a blink and you miss it, but she had Moltres. When Moltres is played on the field, you automatically add at random 1 to 4 fire energy to your hand. Like that's.
Oh,
and that's not even the worst one. It's that after this fight is where things actually can go horrible. As in, you could very well lose before you have your first turn. That's how bad that one in particular is. But we'll worry about that when we get there. And knowing this with some of the RNG on here we've had on display, I can very much see us taking a couple of L's. But I think it'll be fine. Okay, we have plus power and. We have another. Oh, you have Dugong. Okay, yeah, no, we're in the clear. We are 1000% in the clear. We kind of already got a win condition right now. Okay, we have. Do we want to? Yeah, I'm gonna. This might be overextending, but it's fine. I want to knock out that Growlithe right now because I don't want to take unnecessary damage. Moltres could be potentially annoying. However, we have energy removal, so I'm not worried at all. Because we're gonna evolve to Dugong, and just like that, we basically won the duel with Dugong. Dugong is an absolute unit. It can do 50 damage on just 3 energy cards, and there's kind of no answer to Dugong once you have it out on the field, except stalling and stalling and stalling. And stalling, which is what Courtney is doing. But if she doesn't add another Pokemon, we are good. Yeah, we win. Yeah, even if it manages to attack us, we're still gonna live with 10 HP, so we are absolutely fine.
Nice.
All right, here comes. Ooh, Steve. I'm gonna chill just saying that, Steve.
Such a formidable name, Steve.
Here's the reason why. Steve is the lightning guy in of the Elite Four. Here's it. Wait, do I still have two? Okay, no. I thought for a second I had the double colorless energy still in here. Okay, so here's the thing with Steve. Steve has Zapdos, which when played on the field will inflict 30 damage to any random Pokemon out on the field, bypassing weaknesses and resistances. Diglett has 30 HP. Peal of Thunder, Zapdos' special ability, does 30. So if I go second, or if I am unable to get the, if I'm unable to evolve to Dugtrio, oh my god, wow. Okay, we got bailed out there. We almost took an L right there. If I didn't evolve into Dugtrio before it gets knocked out, congratulations, you automatically lose the duel. Automatically.
What?
You automatically lose. If, like, with the way we constructed this deck, yes. That is unfortunately how it works. Because Diglett has... Please tell me it's in here. No way. Alright, time to introduce one of my favorite things about Pokemon TCG speedrunning. A fun little thing we like to call prize scumming. So, prizes are static. They will appear... Oh, never mind. That was on the first one. Oh, thank goodness. That was a potential 45-second time loss if we got really unlucky. So the prize cards that we get at the start of the duel, those are cards that actually come from our deck. So if we didn't see the trio in the deck, that means it's one of the prize cards. So all we have to do is just look for every single prize card until we search for it. With my luck, more often than not, it's usually the very last one or the second to last one. So I lose 30 to 40 seconds at least just from consistently resetting. Knock out the opponent, look up the prize card, reset again, accidentally do a double input and look up the same prize card again. Reset again, lose another 10 seconds when that happens.
Oh, jeez. That sounds fun.
Oh, absolutely.
With like 5 sets of quotes.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you want to know, you want to talk fun? This is the hardest fight in the game coming up right now. Jack. Jack has every single negative thing you want to see in an opponent in a speed run. It got bulky Pokemon for just to be able to stall. It's got a lot of high power Pokemon like Dugong and Lapras and Articuno that can do a ton of damage. Do I have... Okay, is Dugong even in the... You gotta be kidding me. Okay, I'm resetting on that one. Are you telling me it was on the prize pool again? That's... Okay, that's fantastic. It also has a lot of Pokemon that can also inflict status, like Lapras and Articuno. Okay, finally, it's in the deck. Finally.
Nice.
So let's see if we can RNG manipulate our way onto here. Okay. It shuffled the deck and made Dugtrio actually appear deeper into the deck. That's actually fun. Let's see. Ooh, okay. This is potentially setting up things really, really nicely. Okay, we're gonna go for a strat called AJ strat. Where basically we are purposefully doing weaker attacks. We could have done 60 damage to Chansey right there. Come on, don't evolve, don't evolve. Jack, you don't have Dugong. You don't have Dugong. Jack, you don't have Dugong. Jack, you don't have Dugong, please. Please. Jack, you don't have Dugong, right? Stop! Just do an attack.
Oh my god.
Okay, you don't have Dugong.
What?
Okay. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. Okay, I'm gonna land head, so I'm going to bank on this potentially giving me full heal. It did. Okay. Normally when it was setting up a seal like that, more often than not, it actually has a dugong, but thankfully, he bricked real bad. Like, I gotta be honest, like, Jack could have built a house of all those bricks he was getting, because he had a million ways to try and fish out a dugong, and he just couldn't. And now he doesn't have and his win condition just essentially lost. Oh, there's a...
He was trying to will it in existence.
Yeah. Oh my god, this Articuno. That by the way, that's the legendary Articuno. Every time it's played on the field, flip a coin. If it lands head, your opponent is paralyzed. Oh yeah, we just won. We won. It didn't matter. But the way Jack operates things, it's a little bit bizarre. He has a card called Scoopa, which basically fishes out a Pokemon from your bench, and basically allows him to reuse Articuno and the paralysis effect whenever he wants, multiple times a turn. And by the way, that doesn't take over your actual attack, so you can still do a ton of damage. I'm gonna reset on that one. You can still attack, and your opponent is paralyzed, and there's nothing you can do about it if you don't have a full heal or a way to escape it.
Oh, jeez.
Pokemon TCG is fun sometimes. All right.
It's a wild speedrun, that's for sure.
It is. This is going... Yeah. So this is Rod. I hesitate to talk any smack to him because I've been burned way too many times in marathon runs to saying like, oh, this is the easiest member of the Grandmaster. He's basically Lance, except, he's not good. But we'll see. Okay, I'm not worried about Charmander because Charmander has no fire energy, so he can't do anything about Charmander. Okay, he doesn't have Charmeleon, because otherwise he would have been trying to set up, give energy to one particular Charmander. I'm curious to see... Ah, beautiful. Yeah, we just won the duel. We just won. Yeah, at this point, yeah, it's so Jober for him. Because he has Charmeleon, he has Charizard technically, so that is a threat. However, he does not. His deck is not good at all. He's got the lands thing where like he basically like, oh, like these Pokemon they're like dragons. So we only have one dragon type Pokemon in Gen 1, so might as well try to do something. Construct the deck out of nothing. His legendary Pokemon is Dragonite, which all it does is just heal like 30 HP from like a random Pokemon. It's not really that good. You almost will never get to see it. Anyway, here's Ronald. So Ronald is a dirty cheater because, okay, his deck is mainly comprised of the Evolutions and 2 copies of every single that this man just made the misplay of the century. You didn't see it was blink and you miss it. He traded away Articuno and went into Vaporeon.
What?
This man just made the most colossal misplay of the century. Yeah, we won. This is the champion, by the way. We just beat the champion.
That's...
Congratulations, Ronald. You played yourself. That was for Magnemite. Time is coming up in about 20 seconds. So here's the fun thing about Ronald's deck. He's got Moltres, he's got Articuno, he's got Zapdos, Articuno and Zapdos, Water and Lightning type. Guess what he doesn't have? Water and Lightning type, meaning Zapdos and Articuno, once they are played, literally cannot attack. They literally cannot attack at all. So anyway, time's coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, time.
Jeez. About 57 and a half and change. GG's to you, GG's to Ronald. Throw it on that one, too.
Absolutely threw. I cannot explain. So, I've seen this happen every once. So, the rule about bosses having at least 2 basic Pokemon also extend to the Grandmasters and Ronald. And the legendary Pokemon are basic Pokemon. Theoretically, Ronald... We've had instances where Ronald only has an Eevee and a Legend of Pokemon. And what he will do is what you just saw. Trade away the Articuno or the Zapdos or the Moltres to get an evolution for turn 2. And if our hand is good enough, we basically can beat the Eevee with Diglett in one turn. And that is the one and only instance. Oh, no, technically there's a couple, but that is generally probably the only way you're going to reasonably get a one-turn win against Ronald. And instead we got, what was that? That was 3-4 turns. Still unbelievably good. That was still an unbelievably good Ronald.
That was fantastic. Man, GG's. Tell everybody, who you are, where can they find you, what are you currently playing?
So, first of all, you can find me on Twitch, same name, Toronite. Last week or a couple of weeks ago for an in-person marathon in Pittsburgh, I was actually running this game, but a different category, hard mode, which is essentially you start the game from a corrupted save file where you start the game with 0 cards in your deck. So basically that little RNG manipulation I did at the start of the run to get an extra Hitmonchan. Congratulations! Mm-hmm. If you cannot hit that RNG manipulation in that category, you literally cannot start the run. You cannot start the run. So I did that. Got marathon world record on that showcase last week. So I've been doing a little bit of that. I've been doing a little bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I'm a big Spyro fan. I love running the Reignited and the OG PS1 trilogy. I also run stuff like Mario Golf, some Gran Turismo, some PS1 games, some golf games, and also Ghostland Yard, which in about a little over 2.5 weeks, Halloween night, I will be running Ghostland Yard for GDQ, which I am so excited about. It's gonna be a fantastic time. Ghostland Yard, you had never heard of it. Think Super Meat Boy, but it's a cute little ghost, and it's a love letter to speedrunning. It is a fantastic. I highly urge you all to check out Ghostland Yard for that run, as well as the rest of the GDQ schedule. It is a schedule, and also one other thing, I'm currently working on a video, getting to the foray of original speedrunning content, where I'm going to be taking a look at different aspects of, some of the games I run, including something with Amanda, which you kind of saw, the Water Club trainer with Scyther and Wigglytuff inexplicably as her aces. So hopefully at some point this month, I will get into it. So I will release that onto YouTube. So yeah, you can also follow me on Blue Sky, Toronite, and I don't remember the full name convention of Blue Sky handles. But anyways, that about does it for me. Thank you so much, Oscar, for having me on. It was a wild ride. It was definitely an adventure for sure. But I am it's almost 1 a.m. here, and I'm all jazzed up. So yeah, thank you so much, Oscar. I greatly appreciate having me on, and also Chad, thank you for being such a wonderful chat.
No, thank you for being on here, and I agree with Chad. Fantastic commentary. It takes a lot to be able to play a game or to speedrun a game by itself, but to speedrun and provide such clear commentary that you did, that is a master stroke of skill right there. So GG's. And thank you for showing off that fantastic TCG run. The nostalgia bomb is real. Yeah. But for that, friends, we are unfortunately done with today's episode of Pokemon Express Lane. But if you missed out, do not worry, because we're just going to be replaying both Hidden Heroes and Express Lane right after this. And if you tune in tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Eastern for Crosshair, tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for more of Crosshair and Speedruns from the Crypt. With that, I hope you had a great time. I had a blast. I'm Oscar424, and I will see you next time on the Express Lane.